Creativity is an addiction. I live for it, and so do you. Everything that you touch has been created by someone, but you don't know the story on how it got there. Was the employee always told, get your job done or get out? You never hear those stories. You never realize what people have gone through in order to receive what you are taking. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity, totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. I am a stream thinker, which means when I write, I stream write as well. I believe in the power of now, learning to trust freeform thinking as well as writing. And you've got to exercise that muscle daily. I do it by having one page, 10 minutes to write, absolutely no editing whatsoever, because it creates conversation. It gives you that opportunity to share it. Living in the presence of now, because your best decisions are made right now. Own that leadership, the power of now. This is Stream Thinking. Today we're reading from August 6th, 2022. A recent episode of The Twilight Zone continues to explain how dangerous the metaverse is and will always be. Creating and living in a digital false world where your emotions are engaged in the creation of a mental escape. Now, of course, I had to do some research, and it shows the impact is very real. The positive, of course, the possibilities of higher education, healthcare, and the workplace. Meta's top goal is to keep it safe and secure, but you know how the world is. There's going to be clone virtual reality escapes that will transform the human imagination and plant it in places that aren't real, but just like the Twilight Zone points out, it will be real if you invest in what you believe. A simulated digital environment uses augmented reality. We already know what the smartphone has done to the planet. We're all addicted to the digital device. What happens when the new God and maker of the false world designs your life for you? We could argue all day, right? Like I said, I'm in support of it for education, for healthcare. I get it. I mean, look at what they're doing in space. You know, you've got the rover up on Mars that's being controlled by things down here. And what about the spacecraft that just hit that asteroid? Just to see if we had the ability to knock an asteroid off course. It's happening. It's all around us. We are living in this world that is being controlled by digital devices. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it either. We are part of the process. And I'll tell you what's very interesting is that just the other day, I met a woman in 2022. She looks at me deep in the eyes and she says, you know what I bought today that I've never owned in my life? And this woman is definitely in her midlife. I bought a smartphone. You what? I bought a smartphone. I didn't think I would ever need a phone. I got a landline at home, but out here, I didn't think I would ever require a phone. I said, what changed your mind? And she goes, I got caught on the streets. My ride didn't show up. I was in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't know how to reach out to anybody. I was scared. I was in a place of no security, and I had no answers for the questions that my heart was asking. Now, I could ask you that question. When was the first time that you laid your hands on a smartphone that you could call your own? A situation like this happened to my wife and I. We were on our way to a performance. It was through the back roads of Carolina. We forgot to make a right-hand turn. We had no idea where we were. There were no payphones. There were no stores. We were in the middle of nowhere. And we swore on that day it was over. We were going to have to join the digital generation. We are addicted to it. Like I said before, I am not against metaverse. I understand it. But what I do worry about is how easy it is to build false worlds, false hopes, escapes, places to go and grow without ever realizing that reality is right here. And I think that's one of the reasons why I daily write. It's not that I'm bragging about anything. I'm just documenting it. I'm just putting it on paper so that I can come back to it and I can learn from it. Dear future reader, I'm Arroe, and that's Stream Thinking.